God bless your hearts. It's again me, Reverend Watson from Kingdom of Deliverance Baptist Church. And you know that a lot of times I post the verse of the day or videos of sermons that were delivered here at Kingdom of Deliverance. This video is a little different. It's going to be a lot different because this is not going to be verse of the day and it's not going to be a sermon video. What it actually is a video to record my testimony. Um, I think that is something I need to really do because God has been good to me, real good. Just in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, God has been really good. He's actually shown up and shown out, as some folks would say, and He's done things that I didn't think that He would do in my life. I've seen Him do it in other people's lives, but not necessarily mine. Um, the one thing that I need to emphasize is that God, when He says I am, that I am, or how David wrote in Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He's done that. I just recently uh, got back from follow up checkups from the doctor. Uh, Doctor I have not seen um, in a year due to uh, insurance problems and other medical emergencies within my family that did not have to deal with me, uh, my body per se, but having to deal with my mother-in-law and my mother. And to see them come out was awesome. Um, um, have not been to the doctor in a year. Uh, Last time I was actually at the doctor um, before now was in the first quarter of last year, 2005. Um, had elevated A1C levels because I am a diabetic. I've been a diabetic for 13 years. Um, so my A1C at that time was over 7.5 to 7.8, and that was last year. In July of last year, the day after um, the 4th of July, July 5th, my mom, who lives with me and my family, she collapsed, had a cardiac uh, problem, and go to find out that she needed to have a triple bypass surgery uh, for her issue. My mom is frail. She is dealing with uh, early uh, stages of Alzheimer's. That's why she is with me. Um, and frail. And dealing with a triple bypass surgery on a frail 71-year-old woman at the time is kind of hard. You don't know if they're going to pull through. You don't know what's going to go on. Uh, they immediately, when they checked out, eliminated putting stents in the arteries that were blocked in the heart. So they had the only choice was to do the bypass surgery. Uh, that same week, my mother-in-law was scheduled to have uh, knee replacement surgery, which is another major surgery, and she had complications after that surgery. Uh, Both my mother and mother-in-law were in the same hospital, separated by a floor, which is quite interesting. So, um, my wife and I are going up and down the elevator between floors to visit our mothers. Um, but God brought them through. My mom exceptionally well. Everything's going well. Um, it actually, the cardiac or the bypass surgery removed her from taking some certain medications that she was taking before. Um, my mother-in-law is getting around well, was getting around well uh, uh, on her artificial knee until recently, a couple of months ago or a month ago, yeah, 2 months ago, she had another problem which affected, gave her a stroke, but she's back at home now, learning how to move around and take care of herself. Still in her right mind, which is still a good thing, and God is still moving. My mom came out of the surgery, went to cardiac rehab, and surprised everybody because she was doing well. And she's at home in her room watching her programs and yelling at the television again when politicians get on there, which is another story in itself. But is in her right mind, still recognizing, because that's the one thing that they said, she might not recognize any of us when she came out of the bypass surgery, but she did immediately after bypass surgery. So God is good. God is a blessing. But in the meantime, from that time in the end of the first quarter of 2005 until now, I have not been to the doctor. Dealing with A1, that being a diabetic, and dealing with having high cholesterol. I went to see the doctor in April, came back and gave blood work and tests, and came back, and I'm thinking that I haven't taken care of myself, so things are not going to look good. Uh, Got the call back from the doctor from the blood test and found out that I no longer need to be on cholesterol medication, um, which is surprising because I have not taken cholesterol medication in 2 years. Don't know why, being stubborn, but 2 years I did not take uh, cholesterol medication, um, which shocked me. Then, because I have not seen a doctor in a year, and my diet is being erratic and doing what I need to do, and doing what I do, in terms of going around and taking care of kids, family, uh, parents, all that good stuff. Um, they checked my A1C, and only by the grace of God and the blessing of God that my A1C level is 6.5. Yeah. When the doctor told me that, I was on the phone arguing with him, telling him that his machine was wrong. Shows you how my thinking was. Normally, tell the doctor their machine is wrong when they get bad news. I'm telling the doctor his machine is wrong, and he's giving me good news. Because when you're diabetic, you want to make sure that your A1C level stays at 7, which is normal. Anytime it goes above, they give you stuff, and other complications go on. But he's telling me that not only am I not at 7, but I'm below 7 at 6.5. And the only thing I can say is that's God. God watching out, God blessing, God being a shepherd, God being a healer in what's going on in my life. Just shocked. Because there are folks that continue and deal with their diet and things of that nature. And it'd be a problem. They still have complications. The only other complication or the only other difficulty I had was that I needed 2 teeth removed. Still haven't got that done, but in the process, when I went to get it done earlier this year in March, they couldn't really do it. They couldn't remove the teeth. One thing they found out is that when they took my blood pressure in order to sedate me, they found out I had high blood pressure, and it's something I never knew I had. See what happens when you don't go to the doctor for a year? You don't get your checkups, and you don't know. So they tried to do it, and they couldn't remove the teeth because they couldn't deaden the area. So they said that I needed to go to an oral surgeon, where I haven't gone yet. I should be going soon. But in the meantime, I need to get checked out for high blood pressure. Before I can get to the doctor for my checkup, I was stricken with pneumonia. Never been that sick. Couldn't eat, couldn't taste nothing. Legs aching. Thought something else was going on wrong. I've never been in the bed sick for 3 days straight. I'm always up, moving around. I like to be dressed before 12 o'clock and don't spend time in the bed. But I was in the bed for 3 days. Got serious that we did not have service because one of those 3 days happened to be a Sunday. But the Lord healed me from that. Went to the doctor, got the checkup. Found out I don't need to have any cholesterol medication. A1C level low, but still have to deal with high blood pressure. Just got back from the doctor today, and now that's under control. Praise the Lord. Nothing but God. Nothing, no one but God. Um, it's not like I had to cut back salt in my food because I don't salt my food. Never salted my food because don't like salt. From being a teenager, didn't like salt, and I'm in my mid-40s. So it tells you how long I don't salt my food. But it's nothing but God. As I said before, there are people out here that have these conditions, and it strickens them. And they change their diets, they change everything, and they still wind up a lot of times worse than when they started. The second thing is that not only God is a healer, but God is a provider. I've got 3 grown sons. Um, Oldest one is 23. Middle one is going to be a senior in college. The youngest one is about to be a sophomore. The last 2 go to expensive colleges, and they wanted to go. Um, Question is that with one income, we can't see that. We couldn't see that, but they wanted to go. And my wife and I put our trust in God and said if He was going to do it, He was going to do it. If not, He's not. That's about it. And to understand that middle boy of mine, being a senior in a prestigious school, private, don't ask me why, but he liked the school when he went to visit. Private, which is over $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and something we did not have. And then the youngest one finishing his first year at Bradley, with help of scholarships, and none of them are athletic. Yeah, that's right. The only one we really had to pay for. My oldest one paid for his own schooling. Yeah, and he's continuing. The middle one is the only one we really had to pay for, where the scholarships didn't go. Youngest one, everything taken care of. Really. That's nothing but God providing that. And to understand that God is in the blessing business, and when you put your trust in Him, He will meet your needs. And He'll meet your needs before you even know you have a need. My wife and I, 4 years ago, purchased a car with our income tax money. A Dodge Grand Caravan. We love minivans. Love them. Love them. Had them before I left my hometown. Love minivans. But with our income tax, we purchased a used Dodge Caravan, Grand Caravan, and it's loaded. 2 weeks later, after we purchased it, we figured out that God provided a need, but provided an answer to a need we didn't see coming, because I have 2 young children besides those 3, aged 7 and 5. Tragedy struck their house, my niece and nephew, and my wife and I, we took them in, and we adopted them, gave them our name. But that was 2 weeks after we bought that van to provide for our large growing family. My wife, my mother, my 3 boys, the 2 children, my niece and nephew we adopted, my son and daughter now. And myself, we needed a large vehicle, but God saw that need before tragedy happened. Last week we made the last payment on that van, and my wife wanted to get a new one. She wanted another vehicle. And what she was looking at, she was not looking at getting a new car. She wanted a smaller SUV used with this price range that she was already pre-qualified for. It gets bad when you go to the people who had your car loan and you tell them what can you do for me? And they tell you your payment history is too good. We do not want your business. You have to go someplace else. We only a second chance credit people. We don't want your business. Go someplace else. So we do that. We go to the dealership on last Friday, and they pull out this nice 2012 Ford Escape, loaded, leather seats, heated seat warmers, all that good stuff. Fits in my wife's price range. No money down. In the price range with the same payment. Love it. And on Friday, we said we'll be back in the morning and sign the papers. We come back on Saturday. Get everything ready. Get ready to wash the car. Take the information, take it over to the finance office. Walk us over from the finance office, from the used car lot to the finance office, which is the new dealer where the new cars are sold, the new car lot. And the salesman comes and tells us, I think I could do something better for you. I think I can get you a new car for the same price with no money down. With the same payment. I'm looking at him as skeptical as I can be. And when I look at him as skeptical as I can be, I'm like, go ahead, see what you can do. Because I'm expecting you to come back like we can't do it. But we already had the 2012 picked out, so it was really no problem. Yeah, about after an hour. Sitting there waiting in the finance office. If you ever had to go through financing for a car, it takes a while. He comes back and signs the paperwork. And he says, come on in. We go with the person who finalizes the deal, and I'm looking like this is really happening, right? Gets my wife to sign all the paperwork. All of a sudden reaches in the drawer, pulls out the license plates, put them down, then prints off the registration for the thing and puts it down. And I'm looking like, you got to be kidding, because I don't believe this. Yeah. My wife drove off the lot with a 2016 Jeep Cherokee without trading in the van, because here's the van key. This is the key to the new car. This is what God can do. When he says, I am that I am, he's a healer. Everything he says in the word is true. I know that I got some skeptical people saying that you did all this and you did all that, you repaired your credit. But let me tell you something. I know folks that repair their credit, do everything they can do, and still can't walk off the lot with a new car, with no down payment and no trade-in. I know folk with 2 incomes in their house can't do that. That's God. And I'm not here to argue with you, because I'm going to take what my mentor, Dr. C.J. Brooks, told me when it comes to God and dealing with other folks about God. You don't argue with somebody about God. You testify to his goodness and what he's done for you. That's the purpose of this video. It's not about trying to bring folks into my church, the church that I pastor. It's not trying to raise likes for my videos. It's not trying to get anybody else to subscribe. It's to tell folks about how good God has been and how good he's been to me. And I know if that me, the one that's not the brightest bulb in the box, the one that's not the sharpest tack or the sharpest nail in the box, and he's good to me, he can be good to you if you trust him. He can bless you if you allow him to, if you allow him to lead you, guide you, and take you, if you follow him. That's the whole purpose of this video, to tell you and testify to the goodness of God. Because I know for a fact he's good. He's a healer. He's a healer. He's a provider. He's a company keeper. He's a way maker. I know this. I can preach it from the rooftops. What thus saith the Lord. I can put out verses of the day that I think you need to hear the testimony of what God can do. That's it. And until next time, well, that's it. Until the next verse of the day is posted, the next sermon is posted, or the next testimony is posted. That's it. Trust God. Trust Jesus. And until next time, my brothers and sisters, may God bless your hearts and keep you safe in his arms.